Hi, Neil Williams here, president of TurnkeyParlor.com. In this series of videos, we're going to talk about what startup training entails. This service is included in all of our Stoelting machine quotes and essentially means that somebody will come out before your store opens and teach you how to use the machines, how to go through the manual, how to clean the machines, the basic operations, how to put the mix in, and so on and so forth. So each one of these is a kit for each machine, right?
Yes.
Okay. What does that kit include?
Includes laminated, disassembling and cleaning,
Okay.
reassembling and sanitizing. So you have a bunch of those.
It's got the lubrication, the cleaning
Lubrication,
brushes.
cleaning brushes, backup O-rings, all the loose parts that you'll need to reorder twice a year when redoing all the parts. And they also don't put on the front, the customer needs to do that, is star cap designs.
Okay.
There's 3 of those per machine, and then 1 extra with the kit. Take out 1 lubricant and 1 spline lube. Okay, then we start taking it apart. Just take that off gently. Anything new, usually have some parts that stick. Normally this stuff would come off right with it. So, head comes off, 2 hands. We'll put this down over there first and we'll go over the parts that are in there last as we put it back together. In here you have your auger support and your front bushing. Okay, this front bushing, we'll get some lubrication, put some more on there to show you, but this is the only other part that gets lubricated that isn't a black O-ring. As you take this out, you have blades with springs on them. Now the reason the springs lock in, but the reason the springs are important and what sets our machines apart from a lot of other machines out there is the spring pushes off the auger shaft, and in doing so, when you actually get the blade on it, in doing so, it keeps it up against the wall very tight and always scrapes the wall well, so your product's always creamy. So you won't ever have a real
So this
icy
one, how
product.
often change? Never change?
The blades actually have a 5-year warranty on them.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, because of the spring, it will always push. There is a wear line on here, but it's, it shows you right there, but I mean, once it gets to that, it still pushes up in the wall. It's not the wear line you want to worry about so much, it's the kind of the line right there and the sharpness of it. So you can kind of rub your finger over it, it's flat, see that? But the edges are sharp. So, okay, so you got 4 blades on each side. When you get to here, you want to go ahead and grab the whole thing and take it out as one piece. Now this will always stick the first time when they're new. They'll normally come out with the machines as well.
Bring all cut.
That's the rear seal, rear O-ring. This is a different lubricant there, so let me go in the back and grab the lubricants.
Front and back doesn't matter, same size, whole thing.
Yeah, all the parts are interchangeable. There's no left, right, so you really only have so many parts, even though you have 8 machines. So it's
that one is...
it will normally come out with the machine because it's brand new. It's just got a really tight suction on there right now. Okay, so this also has a 5-year warranty on it, and you can see you can never hurt that, even on freeze-ups, anything like that. So that's a big advantage of these machines over any other machine on the market. We're the only one with this one-piece beater shaft like this. Okay, so you see this white lubricant on the back.
Yeah.
This is the hex drive that sits back there in your gear transmission. Well, any transmission is going to need a little bit of lubricant. You do not need to put this stuff on every time, and this is the only place that this lubricant goes. The reason you don't need to put it every time is because there'll still be plenty on there in between cleanings. So I recommend once every 4 times adding this. It's also
4 times cleaning, we do 1 time.
yes. Now with the other lubricants, obviously you're going to do every time because they're being worn out in the machine.
This will put it that way.
Yeah, well we're gonna we'll put it on the edge of the machine here. I got it. I'll just put it there. So this is where we're gonna start lubricating. This stuff just has a way to open that there. And okay. So you just take a little bit, about a third of what you'd put on a toothbrush. Take that and just get it nice and good along the back. And this is your rear O-ring, very important part because this is going to keep anything from leaking out the back. And if you do have anything leaking out the back slowly, you have a tray back here that's going to catch it. But if you have it pouring out of there, it's never going to catch it. So say you forgot to put this on, then put this on, and put the machine back together. When we sanitize it with water, if you have water gushing out, you more than likely this is the part that someone forgot to put on. Water in the machine, water on your floor, no problem. You do this without sanitizing and put mix in here, you're going to be starting to cuss a lot. So it's very frustrating. So that's a very important part. I always make sure of that.
First thing.
So your boot seal goes over that, and that creates a nice tight seal in the back. And then you start putting the blades on. The blades have on the beater, a big notch and a little notch, big hole, little hole. So you can only put them on one way. Once you get 2 on, and you do have to make sure those springs are locked in. The machines do need to work with the springs on the blades. So you're going to start, work 2 in. Once you get 2 in, the beater will stay. So you can just start working the rest of them on. Okay. Once we get to right here, you have to turn and push. And that's going to line up the hex drive back there. Okay. So I'm going to let you work this side. Inside, outside, and then when I put it on, I'm going to get it just under the lip and put it in a Y position. Okay, so the outside head spigots can go up or down. You can get them out. The middle one can only go down. And the reason is it's got a cutout there that lines up with that pin. So if you try to put it from the top, there's no way to do it. Okay, put this over here for a minute. Now,
I need a push cart to work.
yes, push cart's good. Or like I said, turning the machines around when you clean them is fine. They should take about 30 minutes a piece. We had talked about doing like 2 a day, every day, and maybe take like Sunday off. It's probably a good way to do.
So if we do 2 days, then
So like those 2 Monday, those 2 Tuesday, those 2 Wednesday, those 2 Thursday, those 2 Friday, those 2 Saturday, those 2 Monday, those Tuesday, then you're basically doing twice a week that way. Okay, when you clean this head back in the sink, there's 4 different brushes back there, 3 of which are used for the head, then you have 1 barrel brush. So the different size brushes go in here, in this little tube here, and then you have one that goes in the feed tube as well.
smaller one.
Mm-hmm. Yep, and this very small one's about that long. And I have to actually break those out because those are still in the O-ring kits back there. So you have your outside spigots, but this is exactly the same O-rings. When you take these off to clean them in the sink, you want to use like have a dry hand or a good rag that can pinch these and pull them off, because you don't want to stick picks and stuff. You don't want to chip or break these, otherwise you're going to have the stuff leaking out. So when your hands are greasy with this stuff, it's harder. But if you took this rag, you could see it's a lot easier to just pinch it. You can just pinch it out real easy and get it right over the lip. Okay. Your middle one just has 2 bigger O-rings and then 1 center one, and the center one's just keeping the stuff from going side to side. So, okay. When you put them back, 17. You gotta just remember to line that notch up there with that. So just get it lined up and pop it right in.
16, is that right?
The outside ones. Okay. Same thing. Okay. Now, the only thing you need here, which you do not need to lubricate the orange O-rings, is sit in
This
the
one
screw.
only no lubricant.
If you have some on your hand, just kind of put it on there, but don't add any extra. Okay. When they're new, they don't spin real well, so just kind of take them out and make sure they're not twisted at all, and then pop them in. you know you're good because you can see about 4 to 5 threads on these screws. Start with opposite corners. So
Oh, same kind, right?
Yep, and then you tighten those at the same time.
Yeah.
And then do the other ones and tighten those up. And then just check the orange over to make sure it didn't pinch or anything like that. Now again, when we go to sanitize, we're gonna know if we had any problems putting this machine back together because you're gonna see water leaking. And again, it's just water, so it's not really a big deal. Mix is a big deal.
Explain what those caps are again.
The star cap design, so that will give the design to the yogurt as it comes out of the machine. Start the machines up. So on the lubricant here, this is where you got to just put a small amount, because if you put too much, what can happen is it actually can, the pressures down there can actually make it float back out of there. So all you're doing is put enough on there. When you take it out to clean, it doesn't, you know, you're not trying to get it out and it's not coming out. So you just put a little bit. That's all you need. Right now we're just going to leave them up here because we don't want to sanitize the machines with those in. And again, if you
When you're washing out the clean.
we've got sanitizer made.
Okay.
We make 2 gallons per machine.
Okay.
And we're going to pour roughly a gallon at each side. Just kind of eyeball it, doesn't have to be exact. Okay, we'll take our brush. Just want to brush this a little bit. We're going to go to the front, put it on clean. So no leaks. That's always good. Turn it on. We're already in the off position, so we can go right to clean. And again, these cleaners have a timer on them, and you need to let it run for at least a minute, and then you can drain it at that point.